Our first topic is question formation. We are going to see the order and the types of questions that we have studied up to now. It is a short review of the questions we have studied and also of the forms in which we have to ask questions. The two basic structures that we use in questions are the yes-no questions and the information questions. For the yes-no questions, we normally use verb be or auxiliary do in simple present tense or in simple past as well. Are you happy? Does she study English? Those are yes-no questions because they are basically answered with yes or no. In the other case, we have the WH words that are going to conform the information questions. Where are you from? What does she study? In this case, the answers are going to require extra information. The way in which we organize them are according to this chart. Question word, if in case of information questions, the auxiliary verb for all of them, subject, and then the main verb, and of course a complement if necessary. Here we have three more kinds of questions. One of them is ending with prepositions like how is it useful for or where are you going to. In this case, the prepositions are asking us for specific information inside the question. Subject questions like who wrote this letter, which is your book, who and which are acting as subjects in the question, so we don't need a subject like in the regular order. Then we have negative auxiliary questions. Why aren't you wearing a cap or don't you like tea? In this case, the auxiliary is negative, so the person is going to answer why is the reason why he is not wearing a cap or he doesn't like tea specifically. The fourth kind of questions we are going to review is the questions with modals. Could you open the door? Should we buy this car? Remember that could, should, might, may, or must are modal auxiliaries. They can be used to ask questions too. The modal auxiliary is going to be at the beginning, then the subject, and then the verb in base form. In this way, we can form this kind of questions, and they can talk about certainty, possibility, or even promises like with will, and many other meanings depending on the auxiliary we are using. Then we have indirect questions. Do you know if the party is at night? Could you tell me where the party is? So in this case, this indirect or embedded question is going to have the sentence order. The question order is at the beginning. Do you know? Could you tell me? But the second part, that is the question that is really asked, has to be in sentence order. The party is. Where the party is. The party is the subject, and then we have the verb. Finally, we have tag questions. You look happy, don't you? She isn't very hardworking, is she? Remember that tag questions are used to clarify information that you previously asked for. So when you have that information, you are clarifying what you know. You look happy because you are observing the person, don't you? You look happy is in simple present, and the auxiliary for simple present is do. In this case, as the sentence is in positive, the tag question is in negative, don't you? She isn't very hardworking. Verb be in negative form. So it means that for the tag question, in order to clarify that information, we have to use is in positive and then the subject, that is she. So is she? This is the tag question. Based on this summary of kinds of questions and the order of questions, it's your turn to complete some exercises. And of course, put these questions into practice in the different interviews and conversations that we make in class.